If it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to have to kill it for tonight. We're going to try it, though. We're going to see what happens. I think it might have been my fault, guys. I think I had too many things running. If you guys start seeing it skip and stuff again, please let me know. Actually, it says right now it's an excellent connection. So, I would, yeah, I think I fixed the problem. That would be my fault. I know a lot of times we think that they're kind of messing with this, trying to stop the stream and all that kind of stuff. But in this case, I have to say that that was my fault. So yeah, let me pull up my live chat on my phone so I can see what's going on here. Sorry about that, guys. Really am. I try to avoid those kinds of things. So, but sometimes you just can't, I guess. So everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm gonna give people a few minutes to get in here before we get started. Yeah, you know, after all that, hopefully, here it goes again, isn't it? Is it skipping again? Oh, is it? It happened to a lot of people tonight? If it gets real bad, guys, I will, yeah, it's doing it again. I can see it doing it myself on my own phone. You know what? Maybe I'll just, yeah. Yeah, I only got one tab open, Scott, so, you know, that's all I got going right now. And I'm checking my stream strength here, and it's saying it's excellent. So now it's saying warning. I don't know what's going on with that. I tell you what, let me shut my phone off. Maybe that'll kill some of that bandwidth. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. Let's check the stream health again. Is it skipping anymore, guys? Is it fine now? Okay. With that being said, guys, I probably won't be able to see the chat too awful much because I usually pull it up on my phone. But I'm not going to tonight just because of this. It may be, you know, if it is happening kind of platform-wide, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Somebody start yelling at me if it starts doing that again. Okay, so, yeah, we're just going to start here with the Schumann like we usually do. There's quite a bit of stuff going on, though, guys, I do have to say. Let me, yeah. So if you guys see this right here, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown here on this one because this is just something we've been looking at. I try to give you guys updates on it every time I do a video. So we're just going to, like I said, we'll just start right here. And forgive me if I'm all over the place. This has kind of got me thrown for a loop. So I'll try. I had it all set up, but then I think I had too many movies playing. But I did see that platform-wide, they're having some issues right now, and it could be, well, I don't know if it's space weather though, because our solar wind is extremely low, so we're just gonna have to, kind of keep an eye on that. But anyway, so let's jump into this. Let me zoom in here a little bit. I'll click back and forth to make sure the stream's okay. But anyway, you got this right here, guys, and spike, more spikes. That seems to be what we're looking at nowadays. I don't think it's anything different than what we have been seeing, other than, we're talking about these wildfires, and a lot of people have been doing a lot of good work on this, especially somebody like Dutch. And me and him are kind of reporting on it at the same time when all that stuff first started happening, and I just didn't know what I was looking at. I didn't understand the tool quite like he does, and there was some pretty convincing evidence that they were using some technology there, and it was going right to those fires. It's hard to deny that when you see that. And then, not to mention that after, guys, when I did my stream, remember I had to delete it because they blocked it for some crazy stupid copyright thing. And there was more than just one in my video too, and it was crazy because I could see the like 10-second piece of a song that I played getting copyrighted. But the rest of that, there was no copyright issues at all. And another thing that was kind of odd, most of the time they will actually give you an option to trim it out and leave the video up. It did not give me that option. So I don't know. So I had to. That's why I pulled the whole thing down, and I did not back it up. So I lost that video, and it makes me sick because I had a lot of that data, and I think a lot of other people probably still have that data, but they went back on the DuPage College website. I'll tell you what, we can go over there real quick and take a look at it while I'm talking about it. Go over here and find it. Okay, this one here. Okay, and it was, the fires are happening out west, guys, and these are massive. These things are not small right now. It's even hitting mainstream really, really hard right now because it is very, very significant stuff going on. And when I didn't know what I was looking at, but Dutch did, and he caught it, and he was seeing these beams, man, going right to these fires. And I seen the glitch, but I just didn't know what, if it was normal or if it wasn't. I didn't feel comfortable just saying something that I didn't know what was actually happening, or if it was even normal for the tool to do that. So that's what happened. So I lost that video, and it had a lot of that data in it. I went back to see if I could retrieve it, and they graded out of this. They got rid of that data here, even here on the website. And we all know why they do that, guys. There's no question there. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So you often wonder, guys, what's going on with that? Are they really trying to be that crazy with it, or are they not? Guys, I just have to say, yes, I think they're getting that crazy with it, and they have for a while. It's just taken a lot for everybody to kind of accept the fact that we are lied to a lot, but some of the stuff we see is true. I mean, you can't just discount all of it. It's up to us to figure out what is true and what isn't, and sometimes that takes a lot of work, and that's what we try to do. A lot of us, me and Scott and Dutch and people like that. We're not going to stop just because somebody says, hey, that ain't true, that's a fake, or this or that. We're going to find out if it's a fake. We're going to look at it, and if it is a fake, we're going to come tell you. And if it isn't, then we're going to tell you that. So, that's all that it is. The truth can come from any direction. Doesn't have to come from, a conspiracy website or whatever. I'm not sure what kind of genre you want to call us, the so-called quote-unquote truther movement kind of thing. Regardless, if everything that we were told since we were kids was a lie, then we wouldn't know how to do anything. So some of it's true, and we got to cipher out what that actually is. But I will say that the majority of some of the stuff that we're seeing is not, there's no way that it is what they're trying to say that it is. I'll stop with that conversation. Anyway, this right here, guys, this is where all the wildfires are. This is the shortwave IR. And what you're seeing here on the black, that is where the fires are located. And this is from the satellite, guys. So what happens is the sun rises and sets, right? So as the Earth is, you see that little glitch right there? Right there. Okay. I think they call that tiling. Now, I'm not sure if that's an expected glitch. I think it kind of is. As the sun's setting, it catches the camera itself will catch a little bright whatever. But that's not the glitch everybody was talking about, okay? The glitch that was being talked about, and I seen this a second ago, and this may even be normal too. You see that line right there? Now, so I don't know where that's coming from. Now, it's a pretty straight line, okay? So it's kind of hard to say that was, if that was some sort of technology, that would most certainly be something like a laser or something, a direct energy type of bam, straight to the point. But that's going all the way across over there, and it really doesn't look like it has a location that it's trying to go to. So, and again, guys, I can't see the chat, so if you guys are trying to correct me, I can't see it. But, again, I wouldn't come to me for this yet, just so you guys know. This is something I'm still trying to learn, and trying to learn the tool anyway. And I can give you guys this kind of the skinny on how basic stuff is, because I do understand. You look right here, up here where my cursor is, all those little black spots, guys, those are wildfires. So what we will do is, I'll go to the sub-regional. When you guys are clicking over here, you see all these little dots. You can zoom in at certain levels. So we'll go here right now. Now see, look at these. Okay, that's a lot, guys, and they're all up and down the coast. You know, and then we had a dust storm right on top of that the other day when the anomalies on this tool was being caught. It was over here in Oregon, and Dutch was talking about today about, you know, all these fires off the coast is actually I think he gave it a term that he kind of, you know, pinged himself. What do you call it? A pyro, low pressure. And basically what he was saying was these fires and the heat and stuff from them were causing a weather system to develop off the coast. And that's exactly what it looks like it's doing. So, you know, is that a known phenomenon? Obviously not. Or, you know, or it wouldn't be been put out there like that. We'll try to run that back and forth here. And again, guys, I'm not familiar with this tool quite yet. I will get there, I promise, but let's look at this. This kind of gives us a pretty good idea. It actually puts, you know, like red where the fires are. And you can actually see the smoke, too, coming off of them. Now, see, that's where the sun set, right? Okay, now I think all that little, like, lines and stuff you're seeing there, I think that's pretty normal. I think it's there every time. It must be something just inherent with the tool. But as you can see, look at these. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is, like, extremely out of the ordinary for California, because I really don't know that it is, as far as the number of them right there. I know a lot of times in Southern California, they see these more often, I think. But you can see this, and I guess we'll try a couple different views here. Not that one. I don't even know what the heck that one's even trying to show us, so obviously I'm not going to... Okay, I think this one will show us actually the smoke if it wasn't covered by clouds. Okay, that's something else that I noticed too. As I'm running through here, guys, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but watch once the sun goes, you know, comes back up right here. There's almost like a continuous wave of different color right here that's going from the bottom left all the way up this way. And it takes it some time to do it, but watch. Does anybody see that? Because it's not even where the cloud cover is, it's even over here. So, you know, I really don't know what that is. If that's a known thing with this tool, it's just something I noticed. And you guys might not even be able to see it very well. I know I can't hear on my computer, but let's check that real quick. Okay. Let's see. How's the stream? The stream still okay, guys? Let me know. Says it's good, but that doesn't really mean anything. Okay, good. All right. Sorry I had to stop and do that. I just don't want to do a whole half hour or hour live stream and for nothing. I've seen people do that. But this right here, guys, again, this is the Schumann. And we did notice, and I did notice a couple times when Dutch was showing those beams being shot down, I went and checked this, okay? And a couple of these lined up with a couple of those beams being shot, right? Now, Dutch used the video and was telling everybody about the technology of that. You know, weather manipulation and all that kind of thing. Can stuff be used for that? Yes, it can. It's been done for a very, very long time, and it's really not even a secret that it happens. But it was a Russian technology that they developed, and at least that's what I understand, as far as, you know, controlling weather patterns, you know, trying to at least. Using it as a weapon. And that's exactly, I think, sometimes what happens. But a lot of times, you know. Has anybody else thought it was kind of odd that we are, you know, seeing all kinds of different weather phenomenon all over the planet where we're not even supposed to be? Even outside the stuff that we talk about, stuff's happening. You know, what about 2018 when everybody around the world, all the meteorologists said, hey, you know, we're going to have, even all the supercomputers, we're going to have a weak hurricane season. Well, some researcher up in Delaware, I showed you guys those birds, and they would flock south just like any other bird. A lot of other birds do, but most birds would do it every couple, within a couple days of each year, right? You would have a couple day window when they would all leave. These birds were like a week or two out either direction sometimes, and they were actually waiting because they knew the hurricane season was going to be active. So in 2018, these birds said, hey, the hurricane season is going to be crazy. So they did what they did. They flocked south at the right time. But the rest of the world said, hey, we're going to have a week, a less active season. Well, the birds were right. Every supercomputer and meteorologist in the world was wrong. So that should tell you something. I do think that nature is our best meteorologist anyway. We just got to learn how to pay attention. I did notice this too, guys. This is the kind of the craziest thing I've seen here on the Schumann. You guys look, you can see how it's almost, I don't know, it's like multiple spikes going on there, really, really fast. Just little, well, like a laser beam almost, I guess, if you really want to use those words. But you can see up here how it's kind of strange. That's all. We don't typically see those kinds of signatures like that. We've seen them before, but not like around all that. Now, something I've noticed here on the Schumann also, we're not seeing those long-lasting spikes like we were there, month after month. Those seem to have stopped for some reason. And I obviously I can't give you an answer why, but that is an observation. So, let's check the stream again. It's cutting bad on your end. They're cutting out again, guys. Okay, well, I'm going to keep moving, guys, okay? I'm just going to stop back in every once in a while. Scott, are you in there? I'm not sure if you're in there or not. 7. If anybody, Scott or 7, if you see that jump out, shoot me up. Shoot me a text, Scott, if it starts jacking up again, would you? That way I don't have to keep coming back to this. I'm still trying to set up, because I want to get my chat popped out so I can show you guys, and I can just, well, let's try that real quick. Pop that chat out. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure if it'll stay on top or not. Probably won't. Because I got, well, there it is. Okay. Well, maybe we can do that. We'll try it. We'll try it. If it gets in the way, I'll just move it. But yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I thought it was going to do. Anyway, never mind. We'll just do this. Anyway, just shoot me a text, Scott, or 7, or whoever's in there. Anyway, okay. So we got the solar X-ray flux here, guys, and we're not seeing any activity at all. Why is that? Well, there's no sunspots. And we haven't had a sunspot facing the Earth for over 2 weeks now. And that's going to definitely drop the solar X-ray flux. But what's a little bit more of concern is this, the geomagnetic activity, okay? And what you're seeing there is actually no activity. So when we see those kinds of things, we can expect cosmic ray increases, okay? And that's exactly what's probably going to happen. So what that means is for people that fly up higher north towards the poles and stuff, the cosmic rays get in easier. Everything comes in easier around our poles anyway. So anybody that's flying, going a lot, it would, in my opinion, guys, it would probably take quite a bit to really get you sick. But they've compared it to that's why they don't want prenatal passengers, mothers that are pregnant, flying up that high during these times, because they kind of relate it to a like an X-ray, because that's really essentially that's what it is. Okay, it's radiation, and the planes and stuff, they've been built to withstand some of that stuff, but not all of it. So they issue these alerts, and rightfully so. Okay, I do think it's a good thing that they do that, and for that reason, for people that fly, cabin crew, people that fly all the time. Now I can tell you this, guys, this kind of stuff as we go into solar maximum, that's probably going to get a lot better as far as the cosmic ray risk. Now it's a known fact that during low periods with the sun, we are not going to we will have more cosmic rays get in during solar minimum. Okay, and as we go into solar maximum, those risks tend to go back away. But at any time we drop out of the basement, like right here, man, I mean, that's almost 2 days straight, guys, with not even a 1 on geomagnetic activity. And what's really crazy is we're going to go down here and look at the ACE data here. And so what you're looking at, you got the solar wind speed here in the yellow, right? I show you guys this a lot. The density is in orange, and the temperature is in green down here. We're not going to talk about the phi angle or the BZ up there right now. But right here, you got the solar wind speed velocity. Okay, that's how fast it's moving. Now remember what I say typically. Let's bring that out of. Okay, that's better. See the range over here? I increased the size of my pointer too, guys, so maybe you guys can see it better. I hope you guys can see that. If it's not big enough, let me know and I'll change it real quick. But you know what? I'm going to do that anyway. I think I need to, so give me a second. I'm sorry about all these stupid all these stupid glitches tonight. I do apologize. Let's go to the mouse. Oh, goodness. All that. Okay, we'll just roll with that big old mouse right there. How about that? Hopefully that helps. Anyway, you got the wind speed over here, and usually that range, guys, is between about, normal would be 300 to 500, and usually they'll have it right around 300 on the bottom, and usually they'll take it up to like 450, 500, sometimes 550, right? Normal wind speed that we can expect to like see ambient normal conditions would be between 3 and 500. What we're seeing is low activity, okay? Yeah, we're seeing some data points. Now, data points on here are just that. They're a point. They're a dot. So when they line up right next to each other and form what looks to be a solid line, that means the conditions are very stable and they're not jumping around. So when they start jumping around with what I call popcorn, look at the temperature down here. That's what it's doing. That means it's fluctuating up and down, which means most of the time we're getting some sort of, solar weather. And I do think that that's probably what's going on here. But what's strange here, guys, is the wind speed is below 300 for an extended period of time. When we see our wind speed get down into 200s, I've seen it as low as like 240 or something like that earlier today. Well, see right here, look at this. See that little dot right there? That's below 260. So we've been seeing those conditions, and those conditions are not good. Low, like I said, the low is just as bad as the high at certain levels because we got a different danger that creeps in. So what we want to do is we want to kind of stay in the middle, right? We want to kind of stay like at a 3. That would be perfect, I guess, if you want to go that way with it. But, again, that's just what we have to deal with. Now, look at this, okay? This here is, I've not seen a spiral like this in a while. It is, that is a very, very intense spiral graph, okay? Now, what this is showing you, again, is wind speed. Why are we seeing all these other ones flying off here? Okay, the Earth is right there. Okay, sun's here. And we're looking at we are looking at the solar system from the top down. Okay, so that gives you the point of view. Now over here, it's from the side. So what's going on over here, right? Well, we've had CMEs popping off all over the place. But if you noticed, wait till this thing resets. Look what happens. It's really kind of strange. You see where the Earth's at? Look around. Absolutely no activity. That's why. The CMEs are firing. They're just not firing right at us. And so it's kind of deceiving on how active the sun actually is. Just because we don't see sunspots does not mean that we're not getting activity. We are most certainly getting activity. Some of these guys, these over here that popped off, I'll show you guys seeds here in a minute. I mean, come on. Those things were big. And even this right here, you know, some of this is coming from CMEs that are popping off now. And what has really got me questioning what's going on is this. Let me pop out of that for a second. Here's the sun right now. Okay, this is the 195, I think, or the 193. Yeah, this is over. This is the 195. And you see this right here in the middle? That coronal hole. That is most definitely a significant coronal hole. It's not large, as in size-wise, but it is open up all the way. Okay, if you look up here on the north, that stays there. It fluctuates in size. The north and south always have coronal holes. Okay? But right here, when you see that opening up that dark, you can expect to get solar weather from that. Okay? Now, if we take and draw a line right in the middle, the Earth is kind of sitting about right here, just south of the equator of the sun. So anything that rotates through whatever we kind of call that the Earth strike zone. And, the sun's rotating from left to right, just like we do. And so what we're looking at here is these, okay, all these down here. Those are what we call patchy holes. Those will give us solar weather also, just not consistent. We'll start seeing bursts of it. It'll probably be 2 or 3 hour bursts at a time. And that, again, guys, so when we see this, that's going to be a longer lasting kind of event type of thing. And it's also hard to tell the strength of the solar wind until it gets to our detectors. How else are you supposed to know how strong it is? Now, I know there's precursors to kind of give us an idea, but we just really don't know until it does. Yeah. Sorry about that. I got distracted for a second. Somebody walked through the room. Anyway, so we got that. Now, when we get these CMEs and stuff popping off, we're going to go over here, and again, like I said a second ago, let me pop this up. We're going to go to let's go to the Cme Tracker. When this tracker is not updating, I really question why. Especially when we see lots of CMEs happening around. And we're only seeing, the last time this thing updated, look where my cursor's at, okay? It's going to start on the 7th. And yes, there was a CME that day. But there's been like 4 of them since. Okay? So we're seeing this one pop off on the 7th. Well, today's the 10th, 11th, going into the 11th? Why aren't we seeing the other ones? Why isn't this thing updating? The other Enlo model did. Why isn't this thing? Because, we would like to know, because really this is, other than looking at 2 different satellites, and we still can't get 100% accuracy by looking at stereo A and SOHO at the same time to get a direction, we still need to know these other 3 aspects. If all 3 of these show a CME hitting the Earth, you could pretty much bet that it's going to at least give us some sort of a glancing blow. So again, this is top down. This is a side view. This is the Earth's orbit around the sun, stretched out in a straight line. So when we see, it hit us here, and it hits us here, and then the definitive one typically ends up being this one. So when you see that distortion and it goes right over top of the Earth, there's that distortion. And again, that one really wasn't that big of a CME. That was a baby, to be honest with you. So if that glances us, it glances us, But that thing's already gone, by the way. That's the 7th. Well, I guess it could be hitting us now. My guess that maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe we're seeing the density from that, because that's the only uptick that I've seen. I've seen the uptick in the density. See this? It didn't shoot straight up either. And it only didn't even get up to 10. Now 10 density is, that's still that's pretty heavy material. Anything over 10, usually we're like, yeah, we better look at that. Now we've seen it get up over 100 before, obviously, but that did go up, and the solar wind speed went up at the same time. So when that happens, usually that means that we're getting some sort of either a CME, a solar storm, a filament that might have left the sun that's hitting us, that kind of thing. If it's a solar wind stream, usually these things will do the opposite of each other. the wind speed will go down, the density will go up, and vice versa. If the density goes down, the wind speed goes up. So that's typically what we see. Now, yeah, see, that got me all jacked up when I had to close out all those windows. Man, I hate that. Stream still doing okay, guys? Hope so. Let's go over here. I tell you, we'll go over to seeds, and I'll show you this right here. This is what we got right now. This is the 10th, and this is really nothing. Okay, so we're going to back it up to the 9th. Actually, we're going to go back a couple days. But you can see in here, there's stuff going on, and Scott caught something in there. If he's still in the chat, I'm sure he'll be able to tell you. I'm going to point you guys over to his video to talk about that, because he ran it through his programming and stuff. And listen, you guys, you need to go see it there. He will do a lot better job of explaining what he's seeing than what I can. And so you see that. I'm going to back up another day because I want to show you the CME. All right. So obviously that's a pretty decent sized CME. So why did not the Cme Tracker update? It's been 3 days now. It's ridiculous. It really is. You know, guys, we paid for these cameras and stuff, these satellites, with our tax dollars. That's why we're even allowed to even look at them to begin with. So it does frustrate people when we can't at least look at it and see it. Now, some of these sites that we go to look at them, they're not obligated. Okay, like some of the colleges and stuff, they're just using the public data that we can get the same. We're looking at their models. Okay, so that's why, you know, unless it's like the Navy model that's actually from our government and stuff, you know, if it's a school or if it's this or that, you really almost have no avenue to like complain. Now you can complain, hey, why isn't this, you know, updating? And sometimes they'll jump right on that and fix it. But you know, as far as being obligated by like government rules and stuff, I don't think that they are. They're just using the data, putting it into their models. But they're giving it to the public to look at. So we'll go back to the 7th, and that's that CME. Okay, you see this right here? That's the CME that's on the Cme Tracker. So all this other stuff happened after that. Why are they not updating it? You know? So I guess what we'll do here, let's X out of that. Just to kind of, what I did was, guys, is let's just X out of that and that. I put together a little video here just of the past week in CMEs, okay? So this started back on the 5th, and if you remember, Scott did a couple videos on it, I think, on the 5th, or he showed some pictures. We caught some stuff in there, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so that's the 5th. We're going into the 6th. Actually, I'm just going to grab the slide bar. Okay, there's the 7th. There's the 8th. Okay, so somebody tell me how that's not activity. That's what I want to know. That's activity. I mean, look at the one on the 5th right here, and then we had the one on the other side. See? That's 2 of them in the same day. And actually a third if you don't count that one. That's a small one, but the tool picked it up as a CME. So, you know, that's a pretty decent one over here, guys. We just didn't get a good chance to see a whole lot on that because of the direction it was traveling. That was a pretty decent shot over there. So we're going through here like this, right? And there's another one. That's on the 7th. That's the one Scott picked up and did, you know, the Cme Tracker got it. And then this one, right? And really, guys, the sun ejected over here for over a day. For over a day. I mean, it was ridiculous. It just didn't stop. Look at that. I mean, you can see it right there. That's the beginning on the 8th. Watch. Okay, we're into the 9th right there. It started late on the 7th. And it went into the 9th. Now, granted, some of that was coming from different little spots, but everything was coming off that same side. And you got to wonder why. Well, you know, what do we talk about? You know, our object hanging out over there causing the sun to get all crazy. So, you know, that's what I look for anyway. Fix that out. Okay, now, okay, let's, yeah. There was a couple other things here I really wanted to show you guys. I'll tell you what, we'll just go over here to SDO. I'll enter these dates in here real quick. I had all this set up, guys, because I didn't want to waste your guys' time, but obviously it didn't want me to do it because I had too much stuff going. Next time, probably what I'll do is I'll download it, put it into one of my video programs, and we'll look at it that way. That way it ain't robbing bandwidth. So this is SDO, guys, and yeah. And this is from the 7th to the 10th, and you're going to see a lot of activity here on the limbs. You know, we can go down here and look. Let's just zoom in. Okay, I even reported on this little C shape that we see often, but you're going to see a lot of activity just right there. Actually, I'm going to back out a little bit. That's too far in. So you seeing all that activity right there, guys? That's not just little stuff, okay? It kept doing it. And it does it over here at the same time. We're having activity all over the place. Alright, we're even getting little puffs here on the front. Now, guys, a lot of times these things are camouflaged because of the sun. They call them stealth solar storms, a lot of them, because sometimes we don't even see it. We'll get hit with something, and we got to wonder what the heck is going on, right? Well, you know, sometimes it's stealth solar storms, sometimes it's something that they didn't want us to see. And again, that's something we have to try to decipher. Now, that little spot right there was trying to become a sunspot, and I think it petered out. But, you know, it did add a little bit of extra X-ray. You could see it on that graph I showed you guys, but it wasn't a whole lot. Now, remember, those X-rays, they're here basically, you know, in 8 minutes. Okay? They're moving at the speed of light. 93 million miles away, roughly 8 minutes, you know. You know, and I say this a lot. The solar flares are here and gone in 8 minutes, but the residual energy from that stuff, from the, you know, the flare itself, it pulls a lot of that stuff from the sun with it. The initial explosion is what's here and gone from the flare. But the other stuff is to follow, which a lot of times is a big CME. Most of the time when you get a big CME or a big solar flare, you get them both at the same time. It just takes the CME 3 to 5 days to get here. So, yeah. Now you can see over here too, guys, you're seeing a lot of little solar vortexes, basically a tornado on the sun. And what that is, guys, it's lines of connectivity, magnetic connection lines, and the charged particles are following up that line. It's not wind like we see on here on the planet, guys. You know, I'm not sure they did it justice by calling it wind, because it's really not. It's just the movement of those charged particles. It's also important to know the difference between plasma and gas. Basically, the basic difference is plasma is charged. A gas isn't usually, okay? That's pretty much the difference. But I'm not going to go into details on that right now. That would take a while to try to explain it the way it needs explained. But you see, we're going to watch this again right here, because that's a lot of activity for a good amount of time there. So just watch over here, and it'll blow off here again, and it does it over and over and over again. I'll take a drink of my pop, guys. So you seen that little ejection right there? That was fast. And something else that I noticed on this one, I think me and Scott even talked about it, was you know, it's kind of coming off the sun, spiraling. These couple were, okay, almost like interacting with something, right? And it was causing it to follow those connection lines that look a lot like the solar vortexes. So, yeah. Anyway, so we got this, and we're going to go look at a different view. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you guys over to ISWA because I think I can give you better detail over there. That's the only thing I don't like about the SDO site. You don't get as high quality definition when we're talking about the pixelization and stuff that we really like to see. ISWA always gives you better quality there, better definition. So if you got a choice, the only bad thing about going here on ISWA, you can't go back as far in one window. It'll only take you back 300 images. Then if you want to see prior to that, you have to put another window up and take it back further. So it does take a minute to try to get what you need, but you'll see the difference here in a second when this pops up. Okay, so let's just go. And really what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pause it, bring it forward, and hit the refresh button, because it'll give us the most updated capture. Now, I know you guys are probably looking at this right here, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute, okay? That's most definitely a lot of plasma coming off the sun right there that hasn't left, okay? If that leaves, that becomes a CME, just so you know. Let's bring this up here. Let's see if I can't zoom in a little bit and give you guys a little closer look. So, you can see where I showed you guys over on SDO, right? See how much better definition you get on this? And again, you know, the best thing to do, and we don't really have the time most of the time to do this for everything, is to download it and put it in your own programming. And if you got decent one, like Scott actually has really good software there that can actually, you know, upgrade this to some really good definition, and it gives us some really good good quality captures to look at to see what we're actually seeing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause this and grab this slider, and we're going to, because sometimes, guys, I know we say, well, slow it down so we can see better. Not always. Okay, sometimes you want it moving fast so you can see what it's actually doing. But something I noticed, okay, guys, like I said, look down here. You got some activity. Now, why does that matter over there? Well, look at the direction the sun's rotating. Right? The Earth's here. Remember that. So that whatever is going on over here right now, as it comes and comes over the limb of the sun, and they call that the eastern limb. It's backwards of what we would think, okay? Most of us, if we're looking at a map, this is west, right? Well, not when we're talking about space. So this is right here is what we would call the eastern limb. Over here would be the western limb. Also, people call this a disk, okay? What we're looking at here is what we call a blank disk. All that simply means is there are no sunspots on the Earth-facing side. I hear a lot of people talking about, well, they're calling that a disk. It ain't no disk. Well, no kidding. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of where I got that from. So it's just stuff like that just really floors me. But anyway, you see this right here again. That's what I wanted to show you there. And we're going to compare that to this one. Drag this over here. Guys, I promise you these live streams will get better, more streamlined as I do more of these. I'm going to start doing some edited videos too also again. You know, I get it that nobody wants to sit here and listen to my mouth run for about an hour, a little bit more. But, yeah. Can't even get my wife to do that. Just kidding. She's awesome. She's my best friend, that's for sure. That is for sure. God couldn't give me a better partner, that's for sure. Believe me, I didn't pick her, she picked me. Man. Anyway, so you got this sticking up over, right? Now, remember, that hasn't erupted yet over the edge of the limb here. Okay, let's just dive in there real good to give you guys a really good look at that, because I think it's pretty impressive. This one is. This is one of the larger ones, larger filament stuff that we've been seeing. That is plasma, guys. Okay, now did you see that right there? See that right there? Those little eruptions. Every time it does that, it most certainly is letting a little bit go right there. Now, it might not be a whole bunch, but let's take in consideration how big our star is. Okay? We've seen some, and I had to actually do a correction video once because I watched the CME pop off the sun right here. Actually, it was over here on the side because there wasn't a whole lot of room between the edge and the end of the image. The plasma shot out right here, and it actually broke free. It went out here, but then the sun recaptured it, and I didn't see it do that. So that CME really never left the sun completely. The sun actually recaptured that plasma back. And that's what we got to really pay attention to when we're looking at this, because I don't put nothing past the sun anymore. That's for sure. I've seen it do stuff I thought, there's no way. But yeah, I don't think I can even zoom in any further. But you can see a really good solar vortex even in this right here. Watch as the time goes by here. You'll see it kind of dark. And when we're looking at this is the 304. You see that right there? Okay. That's a filament. It's just like an incandescent light bulb, guys. You know, that has a filament in the middle of the light bulb, right? It's meant to cause resistance and heat so it generates light. But when that thing breaks, your bulb goes out. Same thing here. When that thing, you know, when you get certain negative and positives and negatives, all kinds of crazy stuff going on at the sun at the same time, it will explode out, and that's what we see. There is one up here. I'm going to try to run this back again because I want you guys to see something that I noticed, and it was pretty impressive. And that's another thing that that Cme Tracker has really got me torqued off a little bit because while that thing's loading up, we'll go over here and look at this right here is our magnetosphere, okay? This is, now remember, the sun would be off to the right, okay? So the solar weather is coming from over here. That's important to know for obvious reasons. So we'll grab the slide bar here, and you're going to see that we're going to get some activity. See how it heats up? Okay, now if we see right there, took a little jolt. Remember, we have to understand that this is a two-dimensional model. So when we see signatures like that, see this little hump right there? What's actually happening is it's hitting our magnetosphere, and this energy is actually going over the top. It's like it's coming, coming our direction like this. It's rolling over the top. It's not making it through. That part is not making it through. It's actually hitting our magnetosphere, and our magnetosphere is doing its job and deflecting that little bit. Okay? Now, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes when you see stuff here, it is actually making it through. But because of the way that this model is set up, we cannot tell exactly that. We can, look at other models and things, but sometimes it's hard to see and see what's going on, right? But again, I have to say, this is extremely low solar wind speed. So as we're looking at this, you can see, why are we getting these little hits with slow wind speed? Well, because the density's high. That's why. This is the wind speed model, okay? If you look right here, look here. That thing never even hardly budges off of that. It did go over 300 a few times here. Okay, look at that. It got up to 500 right there like we went and took a little hit. But that's not out of the ordinary. Remember, 300 to 500 typically is about normal. So let's see if this thing has went back far enough yet. Nope, got to go back one more time. Sorry. Thought I did. I really want to show you this one up here. This one up here was pretty impressive, I have to say. It was, it kind of like, well, you'll see it in a minute. Need to just quit jabbering. I feel like I got to talk the whole time, guys. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I don't want to keep repeating myself either, because I know that's annoying. But yeah, it did, guys. I do apologize. All that technical stuff that happened right there, that really threw me off here. Okay. Yep, there it is. Okay, that's what I want to show you. Let me zoom in now. We're going to look up here. Okay, so I'm going to run this back. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to slow it down. Maybe I'll slow it down even more. So yeah, you gotta wait for it to load every time you do that, guys. And that's why I tried to have everything set up. I really don't, you know, I do hate that. But we're gonna be looking right here. Let's well, we'll zoom in a little bit more, I guess. So watch right in here. If I leave it alone, huh? You're going to see this CME pop off, and you're going to see like right in the middle. It kind of splits it. It's pretty cool. I think this 304 is probably one of the better looking views. It gives you kind of some eye candy to look at, I guess, if you want to call it something like that. But you see how active the sun's getting right here? I mean, you can clearly see, obviously. But it's getting ready to do its thing right here. Man, it's taking forever. I slowed it down way too far. Sorry. What the heck is it doing, man? Wow. Oh my goodness. I slowed it down way too far. Anyway, yeah, here it comes. I bet I missed it. Anyway, yeah. What the heck did I do there? I don't even know what I did wrong. Let's zoom back out and see if I can't find it again. Again, guys, sorry about that. My family was running around the room here too, guys. It kind of had me all distracted. Let's see here. That didn't even go back far enough. I thought it did. Kidding me? Oh well. Well, let's run over to STO and see if we can't find it there. Yeah. I probably should have skipped it, but oh well, we're here. We're going to do it. Again, guys, sorry. So watch over here once this thing loads. I wanted to show you over on ISWA though, because it is better definition. But watch this thing over here. See that? And when we slow that down and look at it, that's a pretty decent sized little, you know, explosion there, eruption off the sun. Now you're seeing the same kind of stuff down here, right? Because that's that CME that popped off over here. So that's what's going on with the sun. We're gonna move on. Man, I hate the fact that I can't see the chat. Let's see here. Oh goodness. You guys got any questions you want to ask me? Might be able to field a couple questions here. We got some other stuff, obviously, we could look at. Yeah, listen, the internet stuff, guys. Like I said, you guys have seen what happened to me. Typically, I don't have that kind of issue. I usually have all that stuff running anyway, and that's why I think it was more of a bandwidth issue than it was anything else. Because show the pics from 9.8. Well, let me see if I can't find them. I'm not sure where they're at, Scott. I'd have to go look for them. I don't want to pull up my photos folder because it's got personal stuff in there too. I don't want everybody to, I don't like to put my kids' faces and stuff out there. Let's see here. Tell you what I could do. I'll tell you what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Let's do this. Let's go to guys, you guys need to go over and check out these videos, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up a couple of his, show you a couple of these pictures. That's from the 9th there. I think there's some from the 8th too. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, I mean he's got. Guys, go over and check out his video. I mean, sorry about that. Should have had the sound off. We'll just we'll scroll through here. We'll take a look at a couple of these. So you guys seeing that? I mean, oh my gosh. Let me pause it. So yeah, go over and check this out, guys. This is these are like really crazy. I don't know why that stupid thing does that. There it goes. Okay. So yeah, you're right there, guys. I'm gonna pause it. I thought I had it paused, but I guess I didn't. Right there. That's what we're looking at. And if you guys can see any of that, he goes over to Cactus. Look at this. That's amazing. You know, we were talking about this. What's causing this? It's almost like a starburst effect, and I don't have a clue what that is. And, you know, we talked about it for a minute. Scott might have a better idea what that is now. I haven't talked to him specifically about this yet. But you can see this, guys. Please go over and check this one out over here. Because, you know, he's going to run through this. He's talked about, in the video before this, he's actually commentating some. So, this one here, wow. And once Soho and SDO, not SDO, but Soho, once Lasco updated over on Seeds, I'm not sure if he had it. I think he had some captures from that. And guys, this is Cactus, okay? This is the same view we see from Lasco C2. This is Lasco, you know, from the same point of view and everything. But what you're seeing here, that's the difference in clarity, okay? And this is after Scott cleaned it up. So you can imagine going over to Cactus without seeing anything cleaned up in there. It's really pixelated. Some of the stuff we see there is kind of hard to see, which is why we like to use Seeds. This is a great way to show you guys that, because, but what's crazy is this like starburst, like we were talking, effect. You know, Scott has some really good ideas on what that is. But yeah, I mean, guys, I mean, again, I'm going to say this one more time. A lot of this, we don't have to say a word because it's speaking for itself. It's right there. It is right there. You know, at some level, at some point in time, you just got to say that because that's what it is. It's going to speak for itself. When we're talking about things like this. One thing I do want to show you guys in relation to what we're talking about here. You guys have been asking me a bunch, and I appreciate it, about that object we seen on Stereo A from the Sechi tools, right? So we're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna show you what's going on with it. And you know, we seen that when it looked as though an object came through there, and it looked like it reacted with Venus. You know, again, when we're talking about stuff like this, it's, wow. It's hard to say definitively what things are, because we don't know the position of it exactly, because we cannot know the depth. We can't give you a size on something if you don't know the depth. And that's kind of what the thing we're kind of running into. And that will give us a better idea of where stuff is and what's going on here, right? So that's the object we're talking about. Okay, you're going to see it come in here. I'm going to speed it up some. Let's see if I can't. It's right here. Okay. Now, Scott did run that through his programming and stuff, and when he was running it through there, we seen it connect what looked like it was connecting to Venus right here. Okay, because that's Venus. Earth's over here. And at first we didn't know what that was, because stereo A has changed position to where it used to sit. So its field of view has changed. And Scott did a really good show on that. You guys need to go watch that one too. He was explaining that and showing the field of view and all that. And I'll do the same too. I've done it a few times. But as this thing went through, just because this is right here and this is where Earth is, does not mean that this thing is at our doorstep. Okay? That's not what this means. We do not know how far away that thing is from this satellite. Okay? So we can't give you a size, a location, any of that kind of stuff. It's just when we see, what looked to be like it was tethering to Venus or whatever, somehow, reacting with it. Obviously, that's what it looked like. Could it have been? Yes, it could have been. But I don't know the direction of this. I don't. I can't tell you the distance. I can't tell you any of that. So that's where we're at with that. Again, things like that speak for themselves. Eventually, it'll come out to what it actually is. Something else that we're noticing here too, that I picked up on this a little bit, and I've brought it to you guys a couple times. I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to take a look at Earth, and why in the world is this thing flashing? Okay. At first I thought, man, that's got to be a tool flaw, right? I mean, come on. It's the position of the lighting, right? Light's hitting the camera at a certain angle or whatever, and it's causing that to get real bright and flash. Well, I'm not so sure, guys. Because look, Earth is the only planet in this whole capture that is doing that. Okay, that's Mars back there, I believe. And this is Venus up here. Okay, it's not doing what the Earth is doing right there, guys. I don't know what that is. I can't give you a good answer on any of that. But it most certainly looks like it's flashing somehow. Like we're discharging energy or something. Again, I don't know for sure, but anybody got any ideas on that, man? I'm open to hear all of that. And when Mars was right there, I kind of even thought for a second that maybe they were kind of interacting with each other as far as with the camera, and it was causing it to give us some kind of crazy little blinking action going on there. But after it passed, Earth is the only thing here that's flashing. Nothing else is. Okay? The camera itself is a little bit. You can see the brightness of the... But if it was a camera thing, everything would be flashing at the same time. But you can see a little bit of a brightness happening around the edges at the same time. Earth is flashing, but nothing else is. So it makes me wonder if when the Earth is flashing, if this camera isn't actually picking up the light from whatever's going on here. I'm not saying, any of that is actually like the Earth is emitting light or nothing like that. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something here, the camera's picking up something, the tool here is picking up something that looks some sort of energy, I guess you could say, and it's picking it up in this kind of a format. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the Earth's flashing, okay? Just to clarify, because I don't want people to think that that's what I'm saying. But as you can see, guys, again, so, you know, we're going to watch that some more and see what happens with that. I don't know how much we're going to get, how far we're going to get with that, but these are tools that we haven't really used in a while because the one Setchi site is still down. The one from the Navy, we can't even access it. It's been down for over a year. And we were using that tool left and right because it was great. It would give us some really good, you know, captures. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to HI1 and give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're seeing here. Now again, okay, the sun is actually just off to the left here. Okay, it's positioned in a way that it cuts it off on purpose. Okay, so the sun's to the left, and do not freak out over this on the right, please. Okay, I used to freak out over that too, but you know what that is? That is most likely, if I'm looking at this from the angle, it's either, I can't really tell. It could be Venus and it could be Earth. Most likely, as bright as it is, it's probably Venus. But anytime you get a bright object on this particular camera, on this tool, that's on the edge of the viewing area, you're going to see that little brightness, and then you're going to see what happens here in just a second. It looks like it explodes, but all that it is, because everything does that when it gets to the edge of, it doesn't, it could be down here, it could be on this side, and it does the same. It could be up here, it does the same. It could be down here, and it does the same. Now, why we see this bigger explosion while it's horizontal is because of the angle that we're sitting at. But everything will look like it explodes when it gets to the edge, if it's bright enough. That's just the way the camera has a really hard time interpreting that data. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. That looks like it's all kinds of crazy. Okay? And if you didn't understand the way that works, that would really freak you out. And it freaked me out for a very long time. Until we figured out what it actually was, you know. But that's what that is. So, and that goes for a lot of the cameras. Okay, anytime you get a bright light on the edge of any camera view, you're going to get weird anomalies that's going to happen. Okay, and also Venus, as it travels through here, you'll see like loops, and they call them Birkeland currents, and you'll see Venus do it a lot, especially on this tool as it goes through, and it is just that. It's nothing more than that. But Venus is a very, you know, volatile planet, so that's why. They call it the comet planet for a reason. Because a lot of times as it's going through the sky, it looks like a comet. So, you gotta understand that too. But what you're seeing here are days and days of CME action going on. Like I said, this isn't very detailed. So, you know, when you see all those, like, look to be like little meteorites flying everywhere, what those are, that's the actually charged particles flying through the air, guys. Okay? You can't really usually see them. They're not big, huge meteorites or something firing at the sun or nothing like that. It is simply just charged particles flying through the air. Okay? And you get a rush of those when you get, you know, solar weather. That's why you see that. Now, you see this over here, guys? This is why people freak out. It looks like what it looks like, right? But you got to keep in mind, if something was doing that over and over and over again, each time it got in that specific spot, every time it was exploding like that, do you think that object would still be around? No, it wouldn't, okay? You're going to get one explosion. If the planet's going to explode like that, or do whatever it's doing like that, it's not going to do it again because it ain't going to be there. Just my opinion. Oh, man. What did I do there? Yeah. So, let's pop that out again. So, yeah. So I do want to show you guys one more thing here, guys, before I let you guys go. Thanks for hanging around, sticking through this kind of a cluster of a live stream. I do know that it wasn't what I hoped for it to be. Sorry. But I do want to show you, we're going to go over to YouTube again, okay? Hey, Sig, what's up, buddy? I'm going to go over to Mark's channel real quick because I want to show everybody his channel because it most definitely, I hope, I can't say thank you guys enough, number one, for going over there and checking him out. Let's do this. And I know he appreciates it, okay? But he deserves it too, okay? There he is. See him? I don't really want to pop on his live right now as he's live. But listen, guys, go check him out. Yeah, he's so positive. He does celebrity impressions. He sings like the best. I mean, it's so upbeat. It's just ridiculous. You see what it says right here? Day 620 in a row. Right? This guy deserves a lot more subscribers than what he's got. He has done this for 620 days in a row since, was it 12/31 of 18? Every night, 2 to 6 hours, he's on here doing this. And it's positive stuff. Okay? So what we're going to do, I don't want to click on his live. Okay, it didn't take me into his live show. Okay. These are some of his videos, right? Joe Biden, bumbling beat machine, the sleep sofa. He cracks me up. The humor he's got is just out of this world crazy funny. Okay, but you see what it says here? Let's connect music request on the beat seat. He's got a patent on this beat seat, and he's sitting on a drum, guys, basically, and he's able to play it while he's playing his music, right, with the guitar and stuff, and he sings. He takes requests. He's on there for you guys. I mean, look at this. This is his channel, right? Obviously, that was him from years ago. Well, 12 years ago. Look at that. And if we go to his About page, and I guess we could do that real quick so you guys can see what he is about, right? Mark Pyre is he's a real estate agent right now, but he's also the inventor and CEO of the Beat Seat. But a lot of you guys might know this. He's a former MTV music artist, 2004 VH1 Song of the Year finalist, and a celebrity impressionist. But what I think is great is the fact that he is concentrating on positivity. And I think that, especially those of us that look at what I was just showing you guys, we need a little break from that sometimes. And, I think everybody would be doing good just by, when you leave this stream, or if you want to leave my stream and go over and check him out right now, that would not hurt my feelings at all. I really would love for everybody to go over there and give him as many subscriptions as you possibly can. He's putting out the love, so let's give him a little bit of a love bomb, and let's get him up there. He was sitting at like 890 or 860 subs last night, or the night before. And I mentioned it. I put that little post out, and you guys are awesome enough just with that little thing that I did. You guys got him up over 1,000. Scott, I didn't know about Mark either until Scott said something on his channel. So we need to get, he's up here now. Now I'm not sure if he has enough view time to monetize yet. But man, I mean, when you guys go over and see what he's doing, you're going to sit there and wonder, why haven't we seen him before? He's been here for 2 years and we ain't seen him yet? What? I mean, I'm telling you guys, you will enjoy it. I requested a song while I was, when I popped in his live stream. I hadn't talked to him ever before. And, he's trying to watch his live stream and connect with everybody. And this thing is all about positivity. That's what he's trying to do. Everything he's doing. So if we go back, and let's go back to his page here. And you're going to see, like, he does, like, little, how can I put this? Let's go to his videos. How about that? He does a lot of, like, impressions with he'll do like face over type of stuff. He's doing all the voices here on this stuff. Okay, so he'll have the president or whoever else here. You see how the mouth looked kind of crazy, and he adds in his own words. It's hysterical. That's all I got to say. It really is. It is hysterical. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time since when I went over and watched him last night, and the night before. I mean, especially those of us that do channels, we need this kind of release sometimes. I'm sure Scott can relate. That's for sure. So, guys, please, go check him out. Go give him some love. Get him up there. Let's get him going. I think I'm telling you, it's not going to take very many people to see him, and he's going to explode. That's how good I think that this actually is. I really do. I don't even care if you go over and say, I came over from Wages World. You don't have to do that. I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking to build somebody else up that's positive, that's actually giving me some positivity, and it helped me out a little bit just in the past couple days. It's helped my mood. Tremendous. Sometimes I didn't even realize I was really down that far until I was able to get back up. I think sometimes that's what happens, but yeah. So guys, go over and check it out. Again, I don't know what else here you guys want to talk about before we get off of here. I don't want to let this go too much longer, but you guys got any questions you want to know, or something I can maybe help you with, or anything like that? I'll hang out here for a minute and see what's up. Yeah, Scott posted that link. Thank you, Scott. Guys, I mean, seriously. Even if, yeah, I don't care who would have sent me there. It's worth it. Guys, I mean, it just is. And we got to be there for each other in situations like that. Especially when you find something that is positive and it's not out there in such a jerked way that people can't understand, And he puts it there, and you can tell he truly cares about what he's doing. You guys will see it. I don't have to say anything else, because if you guys go over there and check it out, you're going to stay. I promise. I mean, so yeah. I mean, just go over and check out. I mean, it usually takes like requests, and at least from what I could see. Like I said, I've only been over there a couple times because I've been checking out some of his videos now since 2 or 3 days ago, since Scott recommended it, and I'm telling you, it is most definitely something that you guys will not. Again, I probably don't even have to say anything else, because once you guys get over there. It's for whatever. It's for us. He's doing it for us. Because it helped, like I said, my mood was horrible. And you guys probably even noticed it in my stream. For whatever reason, the weight of the world comes down on you every once in a while. And it takes all of us to be there like that, but it takes people like him sometimes to like smack you across the face with some humor that doesn't even, it's just humor. Not to mention that the music that he's playing, oh my gosh, it's awesome. So yeah, I mean, you guys see that right there? He says, Mark J says, just popped in over there. He only had 20 people watching. You know what, guys? I went back and watched. That's actually a big number for him. And that's what I'm trying to say. He deserves so much more than that. I mean, wow. Blue Kool-Aid, stream on, dude. Just come on. You didn't get your reminder, Regina? Uh-oh. Yeah, Mark J. Okay, yeah, thanks, Mark. I mean, I just, did you make him play Ricky Martin, Scott? Oh, my gosh. I had him playing Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire. He tried to find it, the non-copyrighted backtracking and stuff, and he couldn't find it because everything is so copyrighted on that end. But you know how good he is? He didn't need it. He went straight into the song. He started playing it for himself with nothing. He couldn't really remember all the lyrics, but man, he did a great job for just me pulling that out of the air. It was awesome. So what I'm saying is, guys, I mean, you're going to see people like me and Scott over there and everybody else, Sig, and multiple others here already that are going to go there, and it's going to be fun, is what I'm trying to say. He was living La Vida Loca. Wow. That is awesome. Wow. How does the EMP work? Della, an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse. Basically, it just shorts everything out, guys. If anybody ever wanted to know. A solar flare will do the exact same if it's strong enough. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I was a little... I just... When I see somebody that is doing such good, positive stuff, and I want so much for people like that to succeed, because it's what they deserve. We all deserve it, you know? If he succeeds on what he's doing, guess what? That means that more positivity is going to be out there, and we're all going to be better for it. And, you know, so that's why, you know. And I have to say, guys, most of you guys know that about 7 years ago, I actually had to go to rehab. I had a drug addiction to opiates through some back injuries I got. And, you know, I abused my drugs for probably about 3 months. But I found it real hard for a long time to actually laugh. A true laugh. So whenever I can find that somewhere, I stay. Because that's what it's about, right? If we can't laugh and enjoy ourselves, what's it matter if the Earth's even here at all? It doesn't. That's what we have to understand. And that's why me and Scott and everybody else is doing this. Sometimes it looks like it's all negativity, but it's not. It's because we actually care. And everybody has their own little niche that they're in. And right now I'm telling you, Mark Pyers over there has got a great niche to help people. Just by helping, us that are out there actually trying to get the truth out. And it's just awesome. That's all. I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't be like, saying so much like that, but I want people like that to succeed. When I see a good, honest person doing something like that, it's going to help so many people. And it's so underseen that it just blows my mind. Yeah. And what Scott said right there, guys, you guys need to understand that too. Sometimes it comes across really, really harsh and whatever, but it's not. It's never meant to be like that. People care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't be here. We just wouldn't. You think, guys, just to let you know, and people that don't know, I don't monetize my channel. I don't like to say that a whole lot because it's not what this is about for me. But people that do monetize deserve it. It's their job, right? But they're not getting rich. All right? So people that are thinking that, especially in this genre that we're doing, to keep doing stuff like this for, years and years and years, and take all the shots, even people like myself that don't even usually address all that stuff, right? Because if you come at them, they're going to keep coming at you, right? Most of the time. And eventually they'll stop usually. But me, I deal with it a little bit different than what a lot of people do. That's just not my character, That's just not me. But I will stand up for whatever I believe, and I will stand up for my friends, and I will stand up for my subscribers. That's where that comes from. But I want everybody to understand, please do not look at that as a weakness. I'm able to do mine in my way just like everybody else is able to do it in theirs. So the way I handle a situation isn't necessarily right for the person next to me handling it that way. But that doesn't mean that I don't need to be standing next to that person. We can disagree or we can go at things a different way and still help each other. That's what happens. A lot of times if you get two opposites in that end, like somebody that's really like in your face and somebody that's more kind of passive and deals with it that way, it works way better. We complement each other. That's what happens. You complement each other when you do that. And it just helps. Helps both. So, just know, guys, that anybody that's doing this kind of stuff and sticks around after all the abuse we take, we have to care at least a little bit. But yeah, anyway, enough of that stuff. Go check out Mark Pyers. Go check out Scott at Planet X News. Check out his website. He's got a subscribe star. Scott, you can put that in the comments if you want. Pop a link in there if you need to. Go check all that out, guys. I have been thinking about everybody keeps asking me about a Patreon, and the only reason why I would do that is because I don't want my channel to ever have to have like ads and stuff on it, and that's just me, right? I would never change the format here on my channel at all. It wouldn't happen, right? But I would most certainly, if I did a Patreon or something, because believe me, guys, I could use it just like anybody else. I just don't put, anyway, I'm not going to go down that road right now. But, I've had a lot of people ask me about that, and maybe I should do like a Teespring and do some shirts and stuff. I've had a lot of people saying that lately. I might do that. I would consider it. I'm not 100% on it yet. I'm still kind of kicking it around, trying to figure out if I want to do that. But the best thing about doing a private network like that, guys, is there is no censorship for the most part. It's way less censored. You can say pretty much what you need to say and show what you need to show. That is the best thing about that. And it is, okay? And that would be the positive to something like that. I'm kicking it around, like I said, if I do a private network type of situation there while I'm doing my YouTube, I want to find something that's extra for the people that are doing that. I'm trying to kick that around in my head what I could do if I decide to start something. So, I guess mugs and t-shirts and stuff like that. That stuff's cool. I mean, I would love to do something like that, and we might in the future. So, but I'm not really too worried about it right this second. But I am looking at stuff like that. But yeah. So we're not, basically what I'm saying, guys, I said all that just to say this. We're not here because it's easy. I tell you that right now. This is not easy. We take abuse left and right. Most of the time, at least here, I don't even talk about it. Guys, there's been death threats left and right before. I've had to report other people for making death threats on other content creators on my channel. I mean, are you kidding me? Why come here? Why say it there? If you want to say it at all, go say it to them. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, and that's the other thing. I got a couple rules in my chat and in my comment section. You don't attack other creators, even if I don't like them. And if you think I don't like them or whatever, okay? All that, right? You can't attack each other. But what I do encourage, believe it or not, is disagreement. If you want to disagree with somebody in a respectful way, what does that do? It causes us to challenge each other. And it makes us be better at what we're doing. So as long as it's respectful, I've seen it already in my comment section a bunch. Some little bit of disagreement here and there, and people would actually, at the end of the comment thread, most of the time, they're agreeing with each other, just in the way they didn't think they were going to. And that's what's good about it. So, just know, guys, even if if you put a comment in my comment section, this has happened a couple times, and it was like against another creator, even though you probably didn't think I liked that person or whatever, I delete it. It wasn't nothing against you or anything else. I'm not going to have people in there bashing another channel, no matter what it is, just out of respect. That's all. Okay? Seriously. And I appreciate everybody taking up for me. I really do. I get hammered sometimes, especially on other videos other people make and stuff. And, man, sometimes I get attacked from people that don't even know who I am. It blows my mind. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're done talking about that mess. Guys, just stay alert. We got those wildfires and stuff, guys, and I do think that is way out of the ordinary. We got cosmic ray stuff going on, all that stuff, people that are going to be flying. Is that going to affect us down here closer to the equator? Not so much, okay? UVC, guys, I know we haven't talked about that in a while, but that is something that does get to the ground now. They didn't even put it in the textbooks back in the day because they didn't think it would ever be able to reach the ground. Well, it is. And Mr. MBB3's little network, I don't want to call it little, big network, figured that out. They're getting readings of that and have for a couple of years now. So keep that in mind when you're doing stuff like that. The only thing that you guys can do to protect yourself from stuff like that is to cover your skin. Get you an umbrella. Who cares what people think, right? Who cares if you think you look crazy? I don't care. You know what I mean? If it's going to keep you from getting sick, do it. That's all I'm saying. You know, UVA and B, yes, guys, listen. That most definitely can be helped with sunscreen. UVC, no. UVC also comes from like welding. Have you ever heard of a welder's burn? That's what that is. Okay? I used to look in the back of printing machines for hours at a time, and we had UV bulbs in there that dried the ink that were 5 times more powerful than the sun. Okay, like the sun's UV rays while we're standing on the planet right now. You take that times 5, and that's how strong the UV was. So we would have to use UV protection as we're standing in the back of these machines. But there's times that UV and that light would bounce off of the machine on the inside, and it would poke through somewhere. And it would give me what they called a welder's burn, and I would come home, go to bed, get up, and not be able to open my eyes because my eyes were just flooded with water. It burnt my eyes. So that's what UVC can do if it's very, very intense for a very, very long time. Plus, you got to take in consideration, obviously, the melanoma and stuff like that, too. Okay? But just know, UVC is not getting blocked by sunscreen. You have to use some sort of protective on your skin. You got to cover your skin. So, anyway, guys, go over and check out Mark Pyers, please. Please, 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 please. And thanks for putting that in there, guys. Scott, thanks for hanging around, man. Guys, just stay true to what you believe. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to each other. God bless. Yahushua saves. And, yeah, you can drink this Kool-Aid.